Hey guys, it's the Plant Doctor here. What we're doing today is we are going to plant zoysia. We're going to use plugs. So I recently did a product review on something called a Pro Plugger. I'll leave a link up here if you haven't seen that video yet. But I have areas in my yard where I get a lot of shade, and my neighbors on either side of me, they have beautiful zoysia lawns, and I've got common Bermuda. It was here when I moved into this house. And in the shady spots, it does not do good. So what I've been doing over the past few years is transplanting plugs from either side of my yard where the zoysia is creeping in and putting it in the shady spots, and it's done great. I want to share with you that process today. So first thing I want to do is show you the results of 2 years and 1 year removed from installing plugs. So you can see this is not an immediate process. If you're patient, it works great. So let's go take a look at the 2 year and 1 year results of doing these plugs. So this is 2 years results of plugging right here. I started in this corner. These are last year's plugs, so I've been working my way across the yard here. So after 1 year, it'll kind of look like that. Your second year, it's grown in. Now, if you wanted it to grow in faster than 2 years, you could put your plugs closer together. I do my plugs roughly on 1 foot centers, and you can see the results. Okay, so we're here. My neighbor's yard is to my left, and this zoysia creeps in over to my yard. It outcompetes Bermuda grass. It's just a beautiful stand of grass, and this is where I get my plugs from. I've got the 4-inch depth gauge on the Pro Plugger. There's a 2-inch that I keep here on Velcro. We're going to use the 4-inch because we're transplanting in summer. I want a nice deep root ball, and if you don't have one of these, you could also use a pair of post hole diggers as well. So let's just take some plugs. I can usually get 8 to 10 in this tube before it's full. It's pretty easy. Okay, so we're in an area of the yard here. I get a lot of shade behind me. This is due south back here, so all the shade comes this way, and you can see here this Bermuda grass is not full at all. It's very splotchy looking. It's not a nice thick lush grass. So we're going to put these zoysia plugs that are in the tube right here. So if you have one of these, here again, if you don't, you can use your post hole diggers. We're going to knock these plugs out. And what I like to do is we're going to go through and put these on 1 foot centers. You don't have to be exact with this, but I do want to show you how to plant on centers. So I'm going to use my foot because it's really exactly about 12 inches here. And I'm going to put one here. I'm just going to grab a plug, stick it in, step on it, put my heel on the back of that zoysia plug. My next plug will go where my toe is. And then we're just going to keep that right down the line. Even if it's in a little patch of Bermuda, it doesn't matter, because what will happen, it'll take a year or two, but that plug will outcompete, especially in the shade, it will outcompete the Bermuda that's around it. All right, so I came up here to the shadiest section where there's hardly any Bermuda. I wanted to show you what on centers look like. These two plugs, they're 12 inches apart. I split the difference. I go up 12 inches and I put another one. There's one there. So this first row, 12 inches, 12 inches, 12 inches, 12 inches. The next row up, we split the difference between this one. That's 12 inches. Split the difference between these two there. If we were to do a third row, same thing. Those are 12 inches. We just go 12 inches up from there. And in 2 years, this will be completely filled in. Next year, it'll look decent. It'll still be a little thin, but year 2, this will look really good. So let's talk about care of our zoysia plugs now that they're in the ground. The first thing is we need to water these about every other day for the first 2 or 3 weeks. So you don't have to keep them saturated. Don't feel like the ground just has to be soggy. You just want to keep it constantly moist. Don't let it dry out. So what I'm going to do is like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then I'll pick a day on the weekend. I'll do either a Saturday or a Sunday, and then I'll repeat the next week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then when I get a second on a Saturday, Sunday. I'll do that for 2 or 3 weeks. Do not mow the area that you put your plugs in for 2 or 3 weeks as well. What I like to do is go out and test the roots. I'll pull up on the top of the plug. If it feels rooted in pretty good, I'll go ahead and mow. If not, I'm not going to mow that area. Reason being is your mower blades will suck up your plugs into the blade, and you're going to chop your plugs up, and all that work you did is going to be for naught. You'll be right back out there putting in plugs. So water for 2 or 3 weeks every other day, and then don't mow until your plugs are rooted in, and you'll be good to go. Guys, as always, thank you for watching The Plant Doctor. We appreciate all the likes and the subs you guys have been giving us. I think we just went over 3,000 subs on the channel. And until next time, this is Plant Doctor.